I did want to take just a brief amount of time to really kind of hit home what it is that is happening here and encapsulate what's going on. We're taking a lot of first steps here. And some of the academic first steps that Mr. Bryan was alluding to is the simple fact that our students are learning. And not just learning, but learning at an exceptional rate. Right now, the group of 400 students you see are within 5% of where they need to be at the end of this year as of today. And by the time the end of the year comes around, they're not only going to meet those standards, they're going to exceed them and only continue to go from there. And there's also something else going on here. This is, like I said, the center of Maryville, and we are taking a lot of bold academic first steps, but it's also a place where a young girl can take her very first physical steps for the first time on her own. And she definitely deserves a nice round of applause. Fatima, right over here.
2 years ago, I attended the Challenge Foundation conference in Denver and had the opportunity to meet Dr. E.D. Hirsch, who is the founder of the Core Knowledge curriculum. This was interesting to me because, having been a high school specialist, I really had not been exposed to Core Knowledge, even though my school was an official Core Knowledge visitation site. So during a break, I took the opportunity to ask him why Core Knowledge wasn't in the high school curriculum. And he kind of smiled and pointed out that the whole purpose of Core Knowledge was to prepare students for high school success. And for me, that was an aha moment. From that conference, my colleagues and I went back and designed a professional development for our staff, through which we would all read Cultural Literacy, Dr. Hirsch's book that is the foundation of Core Knowledge. And this was very revealing for us. We got a good overview of why in the world he began to think about Core Knowledge to begin with. In the first part of the book, he does a study with community college students and looks at how much what we would call basic knowledge they retain from their school experience. And we decided to replicate that study with our high school students. And we're shocked to find that he was absolutely right on the money. Despite our best efforts, they didn't know things that we assumed they must know at this point. Then we took our study one step further and we began to disaggregate that data and look at students who had come through our elementary and middle school Core Knowledge program and students who had transferred in from another school. And here is where we discovered the most significant piece. There was a relevant schism between the students who had come through Core Knowledge and actually knew what we considered to be general content items, and students who had not been exposed to Core Knowledge and didn't know those items. For us as high school specialists, we realized that we needed to capitalize upon the Core Knowledge curriculum to continue to get those kinds of results. And so from that initial professional development, what we started to do is study the Core Knowledge strands through elementary and middle school. We looked at the types of texts that they used in English language arts, and we decided to focus on those texts through the high school program. The idea is, why reinvent the wheel? If a child has already been exposed to a text 2 or 3 times before they come to high school, wouldn't it be better to revisit that text with that basic knowledge and get into some real depth rather than trying to introduce a new text?
In 8th grade, every student at our school would take the PSAT. They would take it again in 9th grade, they take it again in 10th grade, they take it again in 11th grade. So now you have 4 years of data where you can see your progress and your growth in something that's very, very important when it comes to getting into college. The result has been that we've consistently had very high SAT scores, averaging from 1125 to 1175. Most importantly, it's helped our students to a 100% college acceptance rate.